Today we have a 1989 Ford Mustang 5.0. We're going to be replacing the cooling fan blade. These are really common. The old ones, they get cracks along the where it mates to the metal here. I'll show you when we get the old one out. It's a real simple job. We got this part from autopartsdirectto.com. Comes with a lifetime warranty, so we never have to worry about it cracking again. Or if it does, it'll be free. And so we'll get started. The fan itself is located right under this fan shroud. First step is to just go ahead and loosen that. There's two bolts at the top here. These are 11mm bolts or 7/16. Our next step, when we pull the fan shroud out, the whole coolant reservoir is going to come out with it. So we need to go ahead and disconnect the hose going to the coolant reservoir. There it goes. Okay. Now when we go to pull the fan shroud out, the fan and the shroud all come out as one assembly. So we'll just leave it like this for right now. Next step, we have to get in there and break loose the bolts that hold the fan assembly to the water pump. All right, we got the fan shroud loose. Our next step is going to be to get the fan out of the way. Before we do that, before we take the belt off, we're going to go ahead and break loose the bolts which hold the fan to the water pump. So just go around, break loose all four of these bolts. We got all the bolts loose on the fan. Our next step is going to be to take the belt off. There's an 18mm hex head on the front of this tensioner pulley. So all we got to do is pry up on it and then pop the belt off. Now that the belt's off, we can go ahead and finish taking the rest of the bolts out for the fan. Alright, all four bolts are out now. Now what you want to do is wiggle the fan and pull it forward carefully because you don't want it hitting into the radiator. But that'll walk the fan off of the end of the water pump. So now you can see the fan's loose. We have the fan shroud loose. And like I was saying, they both have to come out together. So what you want to do is hold onto the fan assembly, and the fan shroud will then just pull up, and you pull them both out together. All right, now we have our fan and clutch assembly out. You can see here all the cracks that we're forming. It's a real common problem on these Mustangs. If they get too severe, the fan can actually come apart, and it sends shrapnel flying. You know, it can puncture a hole in your radiator. That one's really deep. It's not good. When you see these on your fan, you want to go ahead and replace it. Our next step is going to be to take these four bolts out, which hold the fan to the clutch. By putting it on the ground, you can hold it with your feet. Once you get the four bolts out, the fan just comes right off the clutch. Now at this point, we'll get our new fan ready to go. The Dorman brand that we have here comes with this spacer. Some vehicles need it. On the Mustangs, they do not. So we'll go ahead and cut this off with cut these zip ties off and just get rid of the spacer, and then we'll bolt it to the fan clutch. All right, we got our new fan. All I did was stick it over the clutch like so. You just want to pick up the clutch, get the bolt holes lined up, and go ahead and get your bolts in there and tighten them down. All right, we've got our new fan attached to our fan clutch. So now all we have to do is drop it back in just like it came out. To do that, we're just gonna, you know, I got this backwards. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna lightly set the fan on there and get the fan shroud lined up. There's two clips at the bottom that hold the bottom half of the fan shroud. So all it has to do is line up in there, and we'll just leave it like that for now. And we'll go ahead and get these bolts started. These can be kind of tricky because there's the fan itself is free to spin on the shaft of the water pump, and then on top of that, the pulley is free to spin on the water pump too. So you have to have three things all lined up before you can get a bolt started. So there we go. You can see here I have one bolt that's only lined up with the pulley and the water pump. I still have to get the fan on there. I'm going to try to line that bolt hole right up near the top. And just keep in mind that it was right at the top. So when we go to put our fan on now, I'm going to turn it so that that bolt hole in the fan is also right near the top. And everything should line up. Yeah, it's started. So now go ahead and get all four of your fan bolts in and as tight as you can by hand. Now I'm just going to put the belt on, and once the belt's back on, I'm going to go ahead and tighten the fan the rest of the way. Now this car has a diagram so you don't mess up which way the belt routing goes, like I'm about to do. Now all I got to do is finish tightening these 3 or 4 water pump bolts. Alright, we got our fan all tight, we got our belt on. Last step is to put the 2 bolts in here into the fan shroud, and then to reconnect the radiator overflow. And that is how you do the fan blade on a 1989. It'd actually be the same for many Ford cars, but that's how you do it on a 1989 Ford Mustang. Remember, we got the part from autopartsdirecttoyou.com. It's got a lifetime warranty on it. So next time you need something, just give them a call and they'll be happy to get you fixed up. Thank you for watching and good luck.